Start record. There we go. So I just want to welcome, is there anybody new here tonight? Do we have any newbies? If we do, welcome. The group is getting really big, and usually every show we get over 100 viewers. It's hard for me to kind of say hello to everybody, and so I do apologize if I don't mention your name and I say hello. Oh, here we go. The Altered Muse Studio. Welcome if you're a newbie. Yes, don't think I'm ignoring you. It's just really hard when I'm creating, and when the group is too big, it's really hard for me to, just be able to say hello. But I really thank you guys for being here. If you notice that the stream is getting a little bit slow, it's because our views are going up. So just hang tight. Okay, just hang tight. All right. So let's talk a little bit about classes, because I've had this question asked a lot, and I want to make sure that you guys get what you want. So people are asking me, can you come teach at my local scrapbook store? Can you come teach in my city? Can you come teach here? Can you come teach there? And the way that it works is that you need to contact your local scrapbook store or studio, wherever it is that you craft, and you want to have them contact me, and I will work out the details with them about, because there's some costs involved that you may not know about. So there's some costs, and I put together the classes, I put together the kits, I put out everything, and so you just need to get them to get a hold of me. So send them my information. Or you can go ahead and contact me, and I will contact the stores directly. Either way works fine. And then that's it. And then I make it happen, usually. Okay. So for those of you that, hey Elda, can I make you moderator since Yvonne is gone for tonight? There we go. I'm making you moderator anyway, even if you've said no. So yeah, that's it. About any questions about, classes and, having me there? I know that the stream's a little bit slow, so I'm waiting through it. Hey, Linda. Hey, Alda. Hey, Teresa. Hey, all. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about is my new online class, which I've been getting lots of amazing support in, which is fabulous. And I just wanted to show you the class one last time. Now, this class is going to fill up, you guys, so you want to make sure that you go ahead and get your kits. I'll show you the class. And there's something totally hidden in here that you guys have no idea, but until you get to the class, you won't know what it is. So here is the class, okay, and I'm just doing a very sneak peek here so that you see it. Okay, it is an altered book, okay, as you can see, full of dimension, and there is a total secret something, okay? You just won't know until you do the class. So this is a class, and I believe I can't remember the date, but it's on my blog here. Let me post the link for you. And all the kits are by pre-order only, so you want to make sure that you get yours before they run out, because I'm only ordering up to a certain amount. After that amount is gone, you can't get yours anymore. The shipping should be pretty fast. It will be pretty fast. I have something in place to ensure that you get it right away. Okay, so you want to see it one more time? Oh, the link was censored. I'm sorry. Hang on. Chat option. Allow links. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's put it back in there. How's that? Did it work right now? Hi from Chile, Lizzie. How are ya? Here, I'll show it to you one more time. You can make the decision. I am recording. Okay. Okay, very dimensional, lots of stuff. I'm not turning it around because otherwise you'd see the secret. But this is all you get. What you see is what you get for now. Okay, and I'm going to put this aside. Take it. Go ahead and take it. Did the link work, you guys? I'll post the link again. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Thank you. So it is an online class. So I'm just going to put this on the side. And the class is really, it's essentially, what is it? Fab Scraps and Prima, really. And tomorrow I'm posting another altered book. And I did it with the Divine Collection. So you'll see it. I altered it to death. So you'll see it. It's really, really cute. A little bit different, but super, super cute. Okay, so should we get started? Let's do this. It's 7:06. I gave lots of people enough time to get on. All right, so let me change the camera view. Ta-da! Did it work? I sure hope so. Let's get the party started. All right, so here we go. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I usually do. So I'm going to give you lots of sneak peeks throughout the show, okay? Are you ready for those? So let me just move this because my screen's a little bit wonky right now and I'm not sure why. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to make this fabulous mini album, okay? And I'll show you the inside in a little bit. But really what I wanted to do, there was a lot of people that have been asking me, I'm going to say I must have had about 15 emails, like no joke, you guys, last week, about can you please do a grungy male album or male layout. So I'm like, okay, fine, right? Not too much flowers, not a lot of, kind of, girly stuff. So this is what tonight is about, okay? It was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I did it for you, okay? I really played around. So what you're going to need is, I'm going to give you all the dimensions. And believe it or not, you guys, I actually took dimensions for you. Are you guys proud of me or what? So this album, what you're going to need is you're going to need 3 pieces of chipboard. And what I'm going to do is tonight I'm actually going to be using my cinch. As you can see, I've already pre-punched some of my my holes with my cinch, and I'll show you how to use the cinch because I know you guys have been asking me since I got it to please show you how to use it. So the dimensions of the album are 4.5, I believe, by 8. It's 4.5 by 8. So you're going to need 3 pieces of chipboard that are 4.5 by 8. Okay, and then what you're going to do is we're going to mimic that door. What did I do with it already? Okay, I threw it over there. All right, so what we're going to do next is you're going to take your ruler, okay? And you're going to need like a pencil or a pen or whatever you want to use. It doesn't really matter. Anything that writes would be perfect. Anything that's writable. And so what I did here is I kind of created a hole in the middle. And this hole is about, I don't know, I'm not even going to measure it. It doesn't even matter. Just what you want to make sure of is, let's say if you have, let me see if you can see this. If you have 1/2 inch from here to here, you want to ensure that there's 1/2 inch from here to here. Because otherwise your frame is going to be a little bit off. So you always want to make sure that you kind of measure that. Otherwise your frame is just going to be a little bit weird. Okay, so I'm going to make the frame, there's 1/2 inch here, I know that for sure, and there's 1/2 inch here. So I know that I need to start it somewhere around here. And I'm going to make the window sort of, I'm going to say, let's say I'm going to leave 1/2 inch from here, and then 1/2 inch from here. So I'm going to make it about here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 2 1/4, okay? So that's what I'll do. So I'm going to do it a little bit higher just because I want to. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to do it to here. Does that even make sense? I hope so. I hope so. And then I'm going to go down. I don't know how big. I'm going to make it about, it doesn't really matter, right? Let's make it about that. Yay big. Let's make it yay big. That sounds good to me, right? I'm using a colored pencil because really, it doesn't really matter what you use because it's all going to be cut out anyway. So who cares? And painted to boot. So who cares? Okay, just like that. All right. So now you have the same distance from here that you do to here. All right. Now, the same thing does not go for, well, the same thing goes for the bottom windows. Okay. Just these two right here. So what you want to do is you want to ensure that you leave a nice little space right there. And we'll make them a little bit longer. We'll do these ones a little bit different. So what we'll do is, I just want to make the albums just slightly different. I do want to leave about 1/2 inch from here, 1/2 inch from here. And then I actually want to make long windows. What do you guys think? Let's do some long windows. So I'm going to do, let's say, about right here. So that's 1, 2 1/4. Okay. Maybe like to 2. And then like that. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. It's not, yep. Okay. And then we're going to go down. We're going to do long windows. You don't always want to do the same thing. Just like so. If it's not perfect, don't even worry about it. It's a grungy album anyways. Who cares? That's pretty darn close. If you're not a measurer, don't worry. Don't worry, my friends. It'll be fine. It'll look awesome. Okay, just like that, right? Now what you're going to do, you're going to do it the Savage way. You can do it the Savage way, or you can use your amazing Prima craft knife. Just don't use it on this thing. So I'll show you the Savage way, if that's what you want to call it. The Savage way is literally use your Tim Holtz scissors and then just cut through. Depends how thick your chipboard will be. That's how easy or hard it'll be to cut through. So I'm doing it this way. I think it's easy. I can use the Tim Holtz or the Prima craft knife, but I really don't want to ruin my blade. And this is quite a thick piece of chipboard. So I'm cutting it with my Tim Holtz scissors because they're that's serrated. And don't worry if you have some pencil or pen showing through because it's going to be covered right away anyway. So cut that through, and you really don't need this piece right here, okay? Is the lighting okay? I just want to make sure, is everybody okay? Do we have any questions? We're good? Okay. Lots of people away this week. I know I got like 20 messages saying that people were away and that they were sorry they weren't coming to my show, which I thought was hilarious. Which measurement? Which one? Oh, so this one, the measurements are 4.5 by 8 is the window. And then this one is about 2 by 2 3/4. Okay. And this one's approximately 1.5 by 2. Okay. Just like that. Fabulous. And if you hear a lot of stomping, my kids are upstairs in their playroom, so they are just having a ball. So if that's what you're hearing, I'm sorry. And the collection we'll be using today is the beautiful engraver collection by Prima. So this is a Prima album. Alta, do we have the engraver collection in the store? Okay. It's very, you know, it's a really nice masculine line if you have some men in your life. This is actually a really great project for all the men in your life. Okay, so should we get started with the really fun stuff? Because I can't wait for this album. Honestly, I've been dying to show this to you. Okay, this is what happens when I get in the studio and play. I get just so excited. So what you're going to do is I'm just grabbing a palette knife. So you need one of these. Any size will work. And any questions before I start? No? Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to need some, this is called coarse pumice gel. Okay, and it's very, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see how grainy it is? I don't know if the camera actually shows this, but it's super grainy. It's like gel with sand in it, essentially, like, but really coarse sand. Okay, and then I have what's called natural sand, which is a little bit, it's a thinner type sand. So as you can see, it's a little bit more gel-like, and it's very, very thin sand. So a little bit, two different products altogether, okay? And what you want to do is you want to take your coarse pumice gel, that's what it's called, coarse pumice gel. And what you're going to do is you're going to just spread it around like so throughout your album, not everywhere, just a little bit here and there. And what this does is, the reason I'm putting this pumice gel on is because there are, we're kind of imitating a rusty metal wooden kind of door, right? And in order to create that rusty metal, then we need something like this, and I'll show you why once we start adding the ink. Okay, so again, it's coarse pumice gel. The pumice gel, it does dry white, it does not stay gray. Okay, so it'll dry clear, if that's your question. Because the gel is kind of white. I think the gray is, yeah, it kind of dries a little bit clear, but it's got some graininess to it, I guess. Okay. It might not be totally clear, but pretty darn close because it is the gel. So we added a little bit. We didn't add too much, as you can see. Do you guys see? I didn't add a whole lot. Okay, just random here and there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the natural sand, and I'm going to do the same thing, but not too much. This is much more gel-like, so I actually don't want to use too much. I barely used some on my last album because it doesn't dry very well, so it takes a little bit longer to dry. Okay, and then I go ahead and close this off. Now what you want to, oh, look at that. What you want to make sure of is make sure that you close your lids really, really well, and you want to make sure you dry this really, really well. Okay, so I'm just drying this off. Any questions as I'm drying this? I know the views may be getting a little bit slow because our viewers are going up a little bit. Thank you. You guys are so funny. You guys always love my nail. This has to be dried really, really well. Yeah. Thank you. You guys are so cute. I know. You know what, Miranda, they aren't cheap. That's the only thing. However, the natural sand actually for this bottle that's like 8 ounces is I paid about $8.59, which is not bad if you think about it, because in the US it's probably about $7. Okay, yeah. And then this one, however, because it's golden, it is about it's probably going to cost you about, I don't know, $20. Yeah, Michael says a 40% off coupon. You can't always get every single medium at Michael's, so you may have to find it at like Dick Blick's or something like that. But you know what? After I do this technique, I know you guys are going to run out and get it. You guys are not even going to care how much it costs. So just wait. So I'm just making sure it's really, really dry. And the reason I'm using this gun right now is because I hate how the other one is so loud. Okay, Aaron Craft Stores has coupons as well. Great to know. So this is the most boring part of the show. It's just me using a heat gun. Does somebody work at Aaron Brothers? Hey, Bitsy. Okay, I think it's pretty dry. At least pretty close. All right, I'm going to say it's dry. And just because it's a gel, right, make sure you just let it cool off for a minute before you do anything. Now, what we're going to do, I know you guys are going to get so excited. Guess what we're using tonight? We're going to use distress paints. Is that not super exciting? Whoop, whoop. Okay, so what you want to do with a distress paint, we're going to use the black one. This is called Black Soot. And you want to shake it up really good. And can I give you a tip about the distress paints? This distress paint came like that in the packaging. So one of the things to notice is that they're shipping them and they're not totally tight. Okay, so make sure before you open the packaging that you watch, because they'll start to just totally run. Okay, so just make sure before you start shaking it up. I want the metallics too. I haven't gotten them yet. They hadn't arrived when I got it. So I'm just shaking it, and you can hear there's a little ball inside, and that just kind of shakes up the paint a little bit. Now, some people have asked me what the difference between this and acrylic paint. This is more of a milk paint consistency. So, and it does all different types of effects, and we'll go through that tonight. So what you want to do is you want to just prep it, okay, on your mat. There we go, and now it's coming out, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cover this whole thing. Now, what you're going to notice is in the places where I had some of the sand, it's not going to go all the way through. You want that. That's perfect. You kind of want to leave it just like that, okay? It doesn't have to be totally covered in black. Just, you can leave it kind of grungy. That's okay. We're going to cover it some more, so it doesn't really matter. This is such a fun technique. You guys are going to love this. And I just squeeze to get a little bit more, okay? What you'll notice is that on chipboard, this dries super, super quick, and I'm not even going to have to do it with a heat gun. And the other thing is that when it dries kind of a matte. It's not like acrylic paint where it has a little bit of a gloss. This dries significantly matte, like chalk-like almost. That's what I'm going to say, chalk-like. All right. So it's already starting to look distressed, right? Just like that. All right. So that's the first step to this. And I'm going to do 2 of them because, oh, I should have done the back. Well, we'll do that after. That's fine. Let's do the first technique so that you can see how it works. So this is how it works. There's that. And then the next thing that you're going to do, I'm going to set this aside for just a moment. You're going to need several different colors for this technique, okay? And I'm just pulling them out. So what you're going to need, the colors you're going to need is broken china, peeled paint, vintage photo, rusty hinge, walnut, and a little bit of weathered wood. You got that? Do you want me to say that one more time? We need weathered wood, peeled paint, walnut, broken china, rusty hinge, and vintage photo. Okay? Next. What you're going to do next is you're going to take your, oh, let me just clean that off for a second. You're going to take your, what is this? Peeled paint, which is the green, and you're going to just apply some on your mat, just like that. You want quite a bit because we're doing quite a big area. You're going to take your walnut stain, which is okay. It's not my favorite in the paint, but I'm using it. Okay, and you do want to shake them actually, which I forgot. They're awesome. I honestly, you guys, I really love them. I really, really love them. Okay, so there's that. And then one of my favorites is this rusty hinge. Like, I love this. Love this rusty hinge. Okay, there's that. And vintage photo. One of my faves. Okay, perfect. Now, you need to do the broken china, but the broken china, I'm actually going to put a little bit further apart. I'm not going to put them so close together because I actually want to use it a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to put the broken china right there because it's what's going to create our patina look. And then what you're going to do is you're going to move everything aside because somehow I'm already working in a tiny, tiny, tiny little area. Not sure how that happens. What you're going to do next is you're going to spray the paint with a little bit of water. Okay? Just a little bit. You don't need too much. I'm just using a regular water bottle. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take your door, all right? And you're going to start swooshing it around. Okay? Just like so. And before you go any further, okay, you're going to take your water and you're going to spray a little bit. Okay? And you're going to let it run for a moment. Okay, just let it run through the crevices. Just like that. You can hit it, whatever, right? And then once again, you're going to take your, just like this, you're going to get all the places that you're going to take all the pieces that have been left behind. Okay? And then you're just going to take your water one more time and just allow it to run a little bit. Okay? Just like so. And let it just kind of drip down. Okay? Perfect. Now what you want to do, once this is kind of wet and drippy, you want to go over it with the broken china. See how it picks up the broken china? Really, really pretty. And this is what's going to create your patina look. Okay? Just like that. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and clean this up really quick. Just a sec. Or you can take a tag and actually run it through, which would be really nice, and then there's no wastage, right? Okay. And what you want to do next is you actually want to give this a really nice heat set, and you'll see that it'll dry significantly less, I don't know, less dark. It's not going to be as dark when you dry it. And we're going to do a second layer in a moment. Okay. You just ordered them over the weekend, Alda? They're going to be in the store then? Oh, awesome. I'll be using the engraver collection, yes. This is just a chipboard album that I cut up. I made a chipboard piece out of just 12 by 12 chipboard. Okay, that's weird, the sound that made. Ooh, okay, apparently don't turn it that way. Okay, just drying it. And can you guys see how it's kind of drying and it's getting a little bit less dark? And to get a little bit more texture, all I do is I get really, really close, and it kind of makes the paint bubble a little bit, and I know it's a little bit hard to see. Can you guys see so far? Can you see over here that it kind of looks like a rusty hinge? Like rust. Isn't that neat? I know it's a little bit fuzzy. I am recording it. Yeah, I know it's frozen because you know what, you guys, there's a lot of people on and sometimes that happens. I'm sorry. There's over 100 people on right now, which is why that happens. Isn't this cool? Really, really cool technique. I don't know. I was going to call it unicorn. Ustream has been really bad with commercials lately, so that is pretty annoying. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I have no control over it. I think you have to pay yourselves if you don't want to get it. Hey, Christina. Christina, you're not getting any of the Tim Holt paints? Are they just not shipping it to you, or you just didn't want to get them? Oh, commercials. Sorry. I missed that. I thought you were talking. Okay, this is what it looks like so far. Isn't that funky? Okay, a little slightly, where's the other one? Slightly different than the other one, just slightly. Okay, but pretty darn close, right? Isn't that cool? All right, so what you do want to do next is, you're not quite done yet. What you want to do next is you can go ahead and I kind of want to make it a little bit more rusty. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of my rusty hinge paint and I just put some on my finger, because you know what I say, right? Your finger is always the best paintbrush. And you can start to create little tiny rust spots right where those raised pumice, I guess, pieces that we created are. That's kind of where you want to put your rust pieces, right? Just like that. Is this a fun technique or what, you guys? Come on. Don't you love it? You can do this on a layout, which I have done this on a layout already, which I will show you in a couple days. You can do really fun looks. I really played with them a lot. So let me show you what it looks like. Fun, right? All right, so let's put this aside, and I'm just going to give this one quick blast dry just to make sure it's really, really dry before we do the next step. Rusty hinge. Oh, all the colors that were used? Sure, I'll go through it one more time. It's walnut stain, peeled paint, weathered wood, black soot, broken china, rusty hinge, and vintage photo. Go upstairs, Eva, right now, before you get a timeout. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is you want to grab your handy dandy Prima distressing tool. And I love this puppy, right? Because there's two different heads. So if you don't want it to be too rough, then you can use this side that's a little bit less rough. And so, oh, yes, I will post all the colors on my blog, I promise. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of create, let me show you, to kind of create that torn, rustic kind of door look. All I did is I took the distress tool, okay, and I took the less abrasive side just because I know that I have a little bit more control, and I kind of took the sander to it. I took the tool to it, and look at some of it comes right off. Isn't that beautiful? So it kind of creates that grungy door look. Peel some of that off, right? That's what's going to give you that really awesome effect. Okay, you don't have to do too much. It already looks rusty enough, right? But especially right on the bottom there. Don't do too much over here where the holes are because you don't want them to rip. But what do you think? Okay, really, really rusty now, right? Is the latch new to Tim Holtz? No. The latch is not from Tim Holtz. I will show you. Now, in order to create this door, what we're going to do is we're going to take some chicken wire, okay? So you can get chicken wire from your local hardware store. In fact, I actually picked this up, believe it or not, I picked this up at my local dollar store. Is that not the craziest thing ever? I did. I sure did. So I'm going to cut some up, and it's doubled up over here. So I do want to, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but I'm using my Tim Holtz scissors because they're nice and hard. And I'm going to cut some up. I know I'm a little bit off camera. I should have done this before the show. Sorry. Didn't think of that. Hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Isn't that what they're saying? How the saying goes? Hindsight is 20/20. So just cutting this up. I prepped everything except for this hard piece. All right, I think this should be enough. Close enough. All right. So now what you're going to do is you really want to flatten this puppy out quite a bit. Okay, you want to make sure that it has the least amount of curvature as possible, or it's going to be a complete pain in the butt to put on. Okay. So just make sure that you really flatten it. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your other guy, okay, this guy, and you're going to cover it up with your paper. So before we go any further, for those of you who don't know the engraver line by Prima, this kind of broke off, so I will show you. But this is the engraver line by Prima. Okay. Lots of beautiful, beautiful papers, okay, and I will be showing you a little bit more as we go on. But for the purpose of the show and timing, I'm just going to move on a little bit. And because I pre-prepped, it is here, and I'm just grabbing it. And I used this one right here. Oh, look, I didn't pre-prep because that one does not fit. Never mind, let's cut it together. Don't you love that when that happens? So let's put this aside for a moment. Let me show you the papers a little bit. So this is one of the papers. So pretty. Okay. Another one of the beautiful, gorgeous papers. Look at the back. You want to see the back? Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Look at all the maps. Stunning, right? Another beautiful one. And the back side, check out the back side. Isn't that stunning? Love that. Love this one. And of course there is the beautiful maps right here. And look at that. Stunning. This is for sure one of my favorites. Love this, which we'll be using tonight. That, and they all have back sides, of course. They're so beautiful. Lots of maps throughout. Okay. This one's a gorgeous, gorgeous one that you can really cut up, and it's got the little bingo and such, and then of course the stickers, which we'll be using tonight. Okay, so let me pull out the one that I wanted to use, which was this one right here. Okay, and we're going to take our paper cutter and we're going to cut it to fit. And it is, what did I say the size was? 4.5 by 8, right? So 4.5 by 8. Just like that. Perfectamundo. But what we want to do is, it's going to cover our holes. It doesn't really matter because we can go ahead and punch them later, or I can just take my cinch and I can show you really quick how to use it. it's already preset, and I know it's a little bit probably hard for you to see. Hopefully you can see it, but it's already preset, so I can just go ahead, literally, and punch away. It is really that easy. Ta-da! And I have my holes. Like, done. Totally done. That's all I needed to do. No, like, trying to bust it up, and lining it up is so easy. Look at that. Just perfect, right? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, some of that tape. It's right here. I like to use my Suquain tape or score tape to make these albums, because I find that they'll really stick to the chipboard, where some of the other tapes don't necessarily quite stick to the chipboard. So I really like to do that. I'm going to pull this up just a tiny bit, you guys, so you guys get a little bit of a wider view. Okay. And I'm not too worried about putting too much tape on this, because it's going to have a double layer, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Aren't you proud of me? Look, I peeled that off with my nails. Usually I can't do that. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and line the holes up. Okay. And ta-da. Now the next thing that I want to do, I don't really like that stark edge. That drives me nuts, especially when I'm doing something that's really grungy. So what I want to do is I want to take my distress tool and just give it a really nice sanding job, and almost like curve the edges a little bit. Okay. Okay, just like that. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chicken wire and I'm going to lay it flat. So once you've laid it nice and flat, you can go ahead and put this piece over top. And don't worry about all those pieces that are hanging out, because we're going to go ahead and cut them after it's already been placed down, because it's much easier to do, trust me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this down just like so and not touch it. I'm going to grab one more hot glue stick, because I can see I'm running out. Just grabbing a couple just to have on hand. And you want to use a hot glue gun for something like this. I find it works a little bit easier. So go ahead and apply a very generous amount of glue. I'm serious, like quite generous, so that your metal piece really sticks. And do this fairly quickly or your glue will dry. Okay, and then really, this is the tricky part. This is where you'll try to line up the holes as much as possible. Okay, I practiced a little bit so I can do this. Hey, Cynthia Luhu. Hello. So nice to see you here. Okay, just like that. What did I jinx? The commercials? Are you guys getting annoyed with the commercials? Because they're hilarious. Okay, do you guys see that? Awesome, right? So then what you want to do next is you can just go ahead and snip these pieces right off. Right? Just like that. No worries. It'll just, that's it. Snip off. Seriously, that easy. You don't have to worry about lining your paper or your, what do you call this, chicken wire up or anything. Just lay it down. Whatever's hanging off, just snip it off with the scissors later. It's that easy. And the Tim Holtz scissors work really great. Just make sure you get all these in the garbage, because if you're walking around your studio barefoot, you're going to hurt yourself. So make sure you always clean that off. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to do, this may seem a little bit silly, but what you want to do is actually, you want to go ahead and take your knife and you want to actually kind of lift these up a little bit. Okay? Like seriously, just lift these up so that you can actually see them a little bit better. Okay? Just that's all I'm doing. I'm just lifting them a little bit so that it looks a little bit more like chicken wire. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to see. And because it's metal, it'll bend really well. Okay. Can you hear the banging? That's my child playing upstairs. Sorry about that. So just like that. How does that look? Does it look okay? Can you hear the kids stomping? Oh my gosh, seriously. So then what you want to do next is you want to take, I like to take the Prima like cold ice chalk ink, and to kind of make the chicken wire stand out a little bit, I kind of go over it with the chalk ink and it'll dry perfectly on there. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. The camera may not pick that up. I know it's a little bit hard. Even though I have fairly good lighting, it's still a little bit hard to pick up unless you use a camera, photo camera. Okay, so all I did is I just gave those wires a little something and then it really pops. Okay. You can see it? Awesome. Okay. Next, what we're going to do next is we want to go ahead and put our hinge, right? So what you want to do is you want to go to your local hardware store. You want to go to a thrift store or whatever and find old rusty hinges, right? This is another one I have, and I'm really sad because this will be my last one. But I wanted to show you some other things that you could use. You can go and get some old door stoppers, right? And you can put that on there, right? Like how fun would that be, right? Something like that. You can put one of these giant things, just take this off, right? Just something really fun and masculine. But what would be really fun, these are fuses. How fun would it be to have one of these fuses here, right? So lots of fun things that you can use, like even this handle right here, right? This would be really fun as well, right? Just like that. So lots of fun little things that you can use as doorknobs, right? So should we use this one tonight since we already used this guy in the other album? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. It kind of doesn't fit in this one anyway, so let's use this guy. Okay? I want to do that. And I really like this one too. I think this one's super fun. Right? Really awesome. And I usually like to use something like this. Hot glue usually works well. If not, I'll go ahead and use a metal glue. It depends how it's sticking. So we'll see. This should work, but you just never know. Just never know. Okay. So we'll let that sit for a moment. And then what I like to do is I actually like, which I did with my last one, is I took a little bit of the broken china. I put some on my finger and I added some to the hinge and knob of the other one. Just a little bit. Okay. You don't need a ton, but some of it. And some of it will bead off just fine. Just like that. And I'll show you. Okay. Yes, garage sales anywhere. Got it. Go upstairs or you're about to get a timeout. Run. Run upstairs. Run. Okay. Now what we want to do next is we want to go ahead and do the back side of this, right? Now we're going to leave the back side for now because all we're going to do is cover this, okay? So we'll do that right at the end when we do our other piece. So this is the back side. So that's it for that technique. And, oh, I forgot we need to decorate this. So in order to decorate this, what you're going to need is you're going to need some vintage findings, which I'm grabbing right here, just a sec. They're just on the side here. You're going to need these flowers. And you're going to need these guys right here. And these junkyard findings, these ones are called industrial lamps. Okay, super cute, right? And I had used this one in the last one. So maybe, I don't know if we can still use the same one. I have another package. Just a second. I'm trying to pull it out. Aren't they super cute? This is a total guys project, isn't it, you guys? I have a feeling we will go to 8:30 tonight, so just so you know. Okay, and you're just going to put it right here. but you want to make sure that it doesn't cover the holes. So I'm going to put it just slightly over. Okay, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these flowers. These flowers are from the Sunrise Sunset collection, 565152. No, look it doesn't rub off at all. I don't know. You can spray it. If you spray it, it'll stay on, right? So you can varnish it or spray it. I'm not too worried. And then you're going to take a big one and a little one. Okay. Which, look at the two different sizes. I mean, how metally beautiful are these flowers? Aren't these awesome? Alcohol ink would definitely stay on, for sure. So you can go ahead and use a hot glue gun, or you can use like beacon glue, like Fabri-Tac or something like that to glue this on. I'm just using hot glue because it's right here. It's just right in front of me. Ow. And it's hot with metal. It's hot, baby. It's hot. Because, baby, it's hot outside. Okay, so we're going to put that there. We're going to put this here. Put a little bit more glue. Just like so. Okay. See this little lamp so far? Isn't this cool? Like it so far? But in order to finish it off, what we want to do is we want to make sure that those flowers kind of match, right? So I just go ahead and with my finger and a little bit of broken china, I add a little bit of that patina, right? And it just kind of blends everything together. Just give it a little something. Like I said, your finger is the best paintbrush. Ta-da, right? Yeah, these lamps, do you want to know what they are? Sorry, they're industrial lamps 891572. Okay, I think you have them, Elda, because I think they're a little bit older, if I'm not mistaken. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this off to the side because we don't need that right now. So let's go ahead and build the inside of our album. And this album is so super easy and so super fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually create almost like a file system. Does that make sense? So what I wanted to kind of mimic is that industrial chic filing system, if you will. And this collection was just fabulous for it. So I'm going to show you how to create the entirety of the album. Okay, so here we go. What you're going to need, now pay attention because I'm going to give you some dimensions, okay? You're going to need is you're going to need some black cardstock. And the black cardstock should measure, I'll measure the full thing so you can cut it up. It's 11 by 4 1/4. So 11 by 4 1/4. And then you're going to fold it at 3 1/4 inches. Okay, so you're going to fold 3 1/4 inches in. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're going to cut a whole bunch of these, as many as you want, to create the album. So these are going to be like little pockets. And then what you want to do is you want to cover up all those pockets as well, right? So I've kind of pre-cut it already for you, you guys. So what I've done is, I don't need this one. So what I've done is I've cut the tops and the bottoms, and we can alternate them. But the bottom is going to be always 1/4 on each side less than the full square. So what I mean by that is that if this is 4 1/4 by 3, then you're going to have it at 4 by 2 3/4. So always 1/4 less on each side. Does that make sense? So just like that. So this is going to be the exact measurement so that you actually get it is 4 by 3. Okay? Just like that. But before we move on, what I would like to do is I'd like to take some, you can either take Vintage Photo, or you can take one of my favorites, Knotted Wood, or it's called Rusty Bucket. Either one works, okay? For the purpose of the show, and it's really fast, and I love these, I'm going to use Rusty Bucket. And so you can just ink it up. Let me see what Knotted Wood looks like, just for fun. Just for fun. Ooh, I like Knotted Wood. I think it looks a little bit better. I actually like both of them together. Maybe that's what we'll do. That takes a lot of time, but maybe. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just apply it down. Okay, and you can use some tape. And I'm going to go pretty fast. I'm going to try to go pretty fast so that we can get on, and I'll show you exactly how to make this filing system. It's so fun. And I might add some more tape after the show, but I just want to do this fairly fast tonight. Okay, just like that. This is all with the engraver collection. Okay, and then the top part, what you're going to do is you're going to take a matching one, or sorry, a different one that's measured. The measurement for this one is 4.5 by 4. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to ink it up really good. And once again, put some tape on the back. I'm using the expensive Suquain tape. I'm okay with that tonight. My ATG gun is broken. I'm hoping I don't have to get a new one, because that would really suck. Just like that. Now, what you want to do in order to create pockets, I always say it's really important not to use tape like this, because every time that you would put a tag in there, it would get stuck, because it's like the adhesive never dries. But if you use a liquid adhesive, it dries, so you don't ever have to worry about your tag sticking. So I always use a wet adhesive for the edges. Okay, it's just a little tip to know. And then I just go ahead and close this up. Okay, let me show you. Isn't that super cute? Okay, cute little pocket. Now, I'm just going to put these on the side for just a moment. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these little tabs, and all you need is a little tab punch. You can use any tab punch of your choice. It doesn't matter. And because this one was number 1, then what I want to do is I actually want to line this up. Okay, I want to line it up, and I'm going to put tab number 2 right there. Okay, does that make sense? So you want to line it up, and you want to make sure that tab number 2 is right underneath it. Okay, because we're making like a filing system. So this is where I'm going to put it. And the reason that I didn't put a whole lot of glue there is because I can just go ahead and slide that in. So I'm going to go do that on both sides. Okay, and I lost my spot, so I'm just going to go ahead and find it again and make sure that I'm putting it in the right place. Okay, just like that. Fabulous. Okay, and I want to ink up the edges just a tiny bit on both sides, just like that. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take these guys, and this is the Vintage Trinkets by Sunrise Sunset, and these are the Roman numerals, right? And the number is 960230. Okay, and because that one is number 1, then I'm going to take number 2, and now all of them are falling out. Not good. Okay, so I'm going to take number 2, and I'm going to take some glue and apply it on my tab, just like so. And also what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little bit of my distress paint, and what I really loved is I used it on here. I'm not sure you can actually see it. Can you see the number one's a little bit blue? It actually stayed, which is pretty surprising. I thought it was going to bead off, but it didn't. It just dried clear. It was awesome. It just dried and it was perfect. So that's that, right? So that's that cute little number 2, right? Can you guys see that? All right. Now the next thing that you want to do, I'm just going to move this off to the side, is you're going to grab, this is so cool because every collection that came out this time pretty much has it, which are these cute little decorative frames with the words in them, right? Which you guys have seen. So I'm going to grab one from the Engraver collection just to show you. Here's one from the Engraver collection. And what I love about this is that there's little words, like it says charm and forever, and then there's the little description about it, like a dictionary. So what we're going to do is we're going to create, where did I put that other page so you guys could see? It's right here. As you can see, let me show you. See how I cut it out with a little word, right? So it kind of creates a little file tab, if you will. So we're going to do the same thing, and I really love that there's like a light bulb and such. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to open this up, and I'll show you how to do that. And should we do the light bulb or globe or whatever this is? Maybe we'll do one of these guys, maybe this one. And then what you'll get is you'll just pull these charms out, okay? And the other thing you could do, this is just another idea, but you could even do the packaging, like boy excited feeling, right? You could do like happy with you, cherish, right? You could really just do anything. I'm going to use one of these guys just for fun. Okay, but feel free to use whatever you want. So what I'm going to do with this, any questions, by the way? Because I'm totally in the zone and I'm not seeing what if anybody needs anything. So I'm hoping y'all can see me okay. Can everybody see me okay? I hope so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to check it out. Let's say charm. There's adorable. I like adorable. Forever. I like forever because it's probably for my husband. So I'm going to do that there. That's what I'm thinking I'll do. And so what I want to do is I kind of want to just mark it with my pencil. That's kind of where I'm going to cut. Okay. Just a very rough cut. I don't need to be totally perfect. Just like that. And then put that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm thinking I'm going to use this glue right here. Okay. Just like that. And then apply it right to the thing I cut. And if there's any excess pieces left over, I can go ahead and just cut that off with my scissors. No biggie. Okay. Which there is, which is totally fine. Or you can use your craft knife. Either one. There we go. Okay. Let me show you what that looks like. Isn't that cute? I love that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to apply that just right there on your plate, on your page. How easy is that? Not a whole lot to it. And this is really simple. And what I love about this project is you really can give this to your husband, boyfriend, or whatever, or otherwise. And you're not using a whole lot of your flowers and all the things that you really love. I mean, I love all these little metal pieces, but the guys really will love this kind of stuff better than anything else. Okay, so just like that. All right. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take from the paper line, I'm just going to grab it because it's on the floor. Just give me a second. In the paper line, one of the papers has these numbers. So what you can do is, because this is number 2, I can go ahead and cut number 2 and put that on there as well. So like this album can be 10 reasons why I love you, or, you know, Father's Day, 10 reasons why you're the best father in the world, right? Or husband, or something like that. You know, it's just such a fun way. Okay. Peel that off, and I'm putting it in with a foam dot. Just like that. Okay. It's a great Daddy's Day gift. So what we want to do is now we want to kind of put some sort of tag inside, right? And there's these wonderful, wonderful tags, right, that you can get anywhere. And what I like to do is, you can take your cinch, or you can take your bind it all, take whatever you want, and you can go ahead and just give it a nice little punch. Okay, look how easy that is. I mean, come on. You guys need a cinch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors, and you're literally going to cut the holes off, right? Or the holes. You're going to take your distress tool, and you're going to kind of distress it a little bit. Ready it up just a little bit. I may not finish the whole album, not even close, probably during the show, but I really just wanted to show you how to make it. Okay, what you're going to do next is you're going to take your stamp set by the Engraver line. Okay, this stamp set is the numbers 562991. Pretty, right? And you're going to take some black StazOn ink. And you guys know me, I rarely use, what do you call it? Stamping blocks. I just don't use them. I'm going to go ahead and I love these stamps because they're actually really nice and hard, so you don't always need a stamping block, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp some numbers randomly. And I'm going to put this down just a little bit now so that you can see, because I'm doing a little bit more detailed work. Okay, just like that. Perfect. That's all I need from that one. And then the next one I'm going to grab is, I'm thinking, the butterfly. Stamping it randomly. Just like that. And last but not least, I'm going to take the wonderful ruler, which I think is just fabulous. Okay, and I'm just going to put it on the side right there. Okay, just like so. And the next thing that I'm going to do, that's it for that stamp set. Where did it go? Just like that. And I'm going to put that off to the side, more like on the ground. I'm going to take my, what is this called? Knotted wood. It's just like vintage photo, you guys. It's so beautiful and so fluid and yummy. Okay, and then you can make it really nice and distressy. If you want to add a second color to really make it really aged, you can go ahead and grab your rusty bucket, and it adds a little bit more of a red tone. Let me show you. Right? Super, super fun. And if you really wanted to get the middle, you could go ahead with vintage photo, but I'm not going to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this tag right here, but before I do that, you can go ahead and take some twine, because this is kind of a guy's album, right? So twine is like really awesome for guy stuff, because it's manly. It's manly. It's so manly. I know, right? Gotta have those flowers. Okay, so you can do something like that. Sorry, I'm a little bit off frame. What do you guys think? Cute, right? What you're going to grab next is we're going to do the back side. So to do the back side, and I'll show you another little trick. To do the back side, you're going to cover this up kind of the same way. And I kind of thought that I had it pre-cut. Oh, I did. So what I've done, and let me show you. I'm just going to grab the envelope because it's a little bit far away. So what I've done for the back side, and you don't necessarily have to cover this up with full paper, but I've gone to my local Staples and I grabbed some number 8, this is in French, quick strip closure envelopes. And all I did, literally, you guys, is I covered them up with the paper. Okay, so take it and cover it up. And what's really fun is that it's got that strip of adhesion, so you can put your paper there and it adheres just perfectly. So I covered both sides. Okay, so take any envelope and you can create little pockets in your book. So that's what I've done. I've done a few of them just like that. Covered it up, right, front and back. And you can go ahead and just apply the envelope on the back side. So you can store little anything about, you know, how much you love your husband. I have no idea. Tickets to an opera that you went with him. Whatever. I have no idea. You make it up. It's all your thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just apply some glue. We'll use hot glue gun because it's right here. You can even make this into a pocket. Maybe we'll do the next one into a pocket so you can see what I mean. Okay, I'm going to do that and just line it up. And I like that there's lots of black right there. It's kind of perfect. I really do love it. Just covered an envelope. Yes. Just covered it. Okay. So what you can do is you can go ahead and add some Velcro. You can add a little brad. You can add anything you want. What I'm going to do is, because this is kind of like a guy's album, I love these junkyard findings. So, and these are, like, look at them. They're so, so fun, right? These are specialty screws 891626. And I really love this little enclosure. I love, love, love this one. For sure one of my faves. Look at that, right? Super duper cute. And I'm just going to apply that right there. And I think I'll do Velcro on the inside, which I left in the other room, which I'm not running to get right now. So it'll be left like this until I put it on. But we're just going to hold it. Can you guys see how cute that is? I mean, come on. Right? Super, super adorable. How much room for the cinch punches? There's tons of room here. Like, there's tons, but about 1/4 of an inch is perfect. I would say 1/4 of an inch. That's what I would do. Okay? If you really want to know, it's about 1/4 of an inch for sure. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is, if you see on this one, I had cut out a little tag, right? And I actually put the cutest little new Prima paper clip, right? And it's a cute little key. So I just want to show you some of the other ones that we have, which are totally adorable. Just want to show them to you. Here's the key. And I thought I had brought some more. Maybe I didn't. But I thought I did. I thought I had. Oh, they're right here. Hang on. Hang on, people. Hang on, y'all. There's so many, and they're so stinking cute. But look at these. There's the cute little cameras, which are absolutely adorable. There's the cute little clocks. They're not from this line, but... And then there's the cute little banners. I mean, how amazing is that, right? So you could seriously use anything, right? You can interchange any line to suit your needs, right? So there's one, right? And we didn't totally embellish it, but what you can do next is you can take your stickers, which I'm going to grab right now. And the stickers come in this pad right here, as you can see, or you can get them separately. So I'm just going to pull them out so that we can kind of play with them. And you can start using your chipboard pieces. There's chipboard pieces to this line as well, which is really, really fun. Okay. So you can go ahead and apply, let's say, this little cute little tag right here, per se, right? So you just ink it up. Grab a little foam dot. And ink it right up. Right? And you can write a little note right there or something like that. And then you can even do like a little, there's cute little arrows here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually grab one of the arrows because I think it's super adorable. And I'm going to point it towards the opening of the album. Can you guys see that? You're welcome, Jen Clark. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, so there's that. So now we want to go ahead and make the rest of them, right? Because right now we have number 1, right? Number 2, oops, this one's kind of sticking out. We have number 1, number 2, so we want to create the rest of them. So I'm going to do the other ones hopefully a little bit faster, but I just wanted to show you how to create them, right? So the next one I'm going to do is, I'm going to use maybe this one right here. So we'll just create, you guys can ask me questions. Right now it's 8:16, so we have 15 minutes, so we can go ahead and finish the album. And you don't necessarily have to use the cinch, you guys. You can actually bind it, you know, you can make 3 holes in the album and just bind them with the rings, like whatever you want, right? Just gonna pull this up just a tiny bit again. There we go. Just like that. And then I'm thinking we'll do one like, let's see, like this one. Oh, that's too dark. Too dark. I love playing with these. These are so much fun. You want to get out of bed and play? That is awesome. I'm just going to move these to the side. They're annoying me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually apply all of these down, and then I'll embellish, I think. I think it'll be easier that way. So much easier to just make them first. Wouldn't you agree, my peeps? Look at this cute one. Oh, I love that. You guys have to show me when you create one of these albums. I want to see what you got inspired by. So make sure you tag me. Any questions, anyone? So far? Okay, so we'll do this and then we'll do the back sides. I just want to finish these guys up. If we make one of these, is there a place to post it? You can post it in the mixed media group, in my mixed media group, or you can just go ahead and tag me on Facebook. Either one works. But yes, I would love to see your work. I'm from Canada. I'm Edmonton, Alberta. So for those of you that missed it, I'm going to keep making this. For those of you that missed it, if you guys want me to come to teach at your local scrapbook store, be sure to let me know so that I can contact your local retailers, or contact your local retailers yourself and provide them with my information, and I'll be sure to hopefully come by your area and teach some classes. How do we find the Lemore Mixed Media Group? Okay, if you are you a friend on Facebook? Just send me a message and I'll send you the link. I'm just it's kind of hard for me to work and do that at the same time. So I'll send you the, if you're a friend with me on Facebook, befriend me on Facebook and I'll add you to our Leemore Mixed Media group. The size of the album again? Sure. It was, I wrote it down somewhere, 4.5 by 8. Okay. So we're making a whole bunch of them. And we'll do maybe one, a dark one. This one didn't cut very well. That's interesting. I like kind of that distressed look anyway. So we'll do that. And hopefully I'll be able to finish at least most of these so that you can see the finished product. How does the album come? You got to make it yourself. That's why I gave you the dimensions. If that's what you mean. Is that what you mean? Are you late, Nick? Yes, you are, honey. We're about, you know, done in about 10 minutes or so. But that's okay. I'm recording, I promise. Okay. Just like so. Sometimes with more intricate things like this, I need an assistant. Okay, just like that. A couple more. And I love this beacon glue. I love it. I either use Fabri-Tac, which this is what I'm using, or 3-in-1, which they're both just fabulous. Love, love, love them. Love, love, love. Okay. I think this one, yeah, we'll do that one. It's like, what if there's dark on the bottom, I do light on the top. And if there's light on the top, I do dark on the bottom, or vice versa. You know what I mean, right? Just so that the page is not super, super dark, right? And then I just apply it just like so. How fast are these pockets, right, you guys? Like, look at this. Super duper fast. Right? Look at that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you think? Are we going to be able to fit 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm thinking 5. So let's do the 5. And then let's stick the tabs in there, right? We need the tabs. And I already pre-punched them out, which is really great. So we can go ahead and fit them in there. So all I do is I just fold, right, just like that, and add a little bit of glue to either side. And I just, oh no, it doesn't go right there. I almost made a boo-boo, you guys. I almost made a boo-boo. Almost, but not quite. So if 2 goes there, 3 has to go right there, right? There's 3. Okay, so we'll put that off to the side. And then here's number 4. What goes smooshy feminine on you? An album? Is that what you mean? What you talking about, Vaughn? What you talking about? Yes, I used the punch. I used this. It's a Stampin' Up! Punch, but you can get this punch anywhere, I think. I'm pretty sure you can. You can use any tab punch of your choice. It does not have to be that one. Okay, and I'm just going to line this one up. We might only get to 4, but we'll see. 4 reasons why I love you, but then you can go right back up, right? So once you're kind of done on the bottom, then you can go ahead and bring it back up. But let's see if this last one will fit. I think so. I think we have room for another one. I say so. I say yes. And if I say so, it goes, baby. That's how it goes. Oh, I think I'll have to do that on the top, which is no big deal. Okay, just like that. Fabulous. I actually kind of like that it's sticking out like that. It's really cute. But if you don't like it, you can just go ahead and tuck it underneath. Okay, so just like this. Let me show you so far, right? Now you have a little, this one's kind of sticking out a little bit just because it's got that weird brad. But right, we got a little filing system. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the numbers just like we did with the other ones. So we'll do number 3. If you guys are sticking with me, I'll just keep working until it's done. I kind of picked a little bit of a long project, and I kind of screwed up on my measurements a little bit, but that's okay. And you guys know that my first show with Live with Prima is May 30th. I know it's a little bit far away, but mark your calendars, okay? Mark your calendars. And I'll have to prepare really well because I only have a limited time to craft there, so I'll have to be very quick. Have to be very, very quick. That's right, mark your calendars. Okay. Just like that. Awesome. Love it. I just love these little filing systems. I mean, how adorable are these? Come on. Right? Super, super cute. May 30th, baby. That's right. You got it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our little, what is this, broken china again? And just add a little bit of broken china to each little guy to just kind of pop it right up. Did you guys see that you can see them a little bit better now? Aren't they adorable? It is being taped. Thank you, Amy. How's the training at Prima? What training? Okay, so then what you can do with the back side, just like I did with this guy, is you can just go ahead and cut some photo mats. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one with you before the show ends because we have a couple minutes, and then the rest I'll finish later, and maybe I'll post pictures on my blog tomorrow. But if you look, this paper, I'm just going to pull it. Hang on a sec. I'm just going to grab it right now. Just put it off to the side. This paper right here has these awesome clocks and the Polaroid frames. So we can go ahead and actually use one of these Polaroid frames for one of the back sides because I think it'll be super fun. I'm just cutting it off frame. Give me a second. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to cut off frame. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and use my Prima Distress tool. And what you can do is you can literally cut the center out. Okay. And you can apply it like that. But let's actually grab a piece of paper and mat it on here. So let's grab this guy. It's really, really cute. I really like this one. But since this is white, I'm thinking maybe we'll do a dark one. And I'm not going to measure right now. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it just for fun. But I believe it was 4 by something. Right? Was it 4? Yep. 4 by maybe 7, I think. Something like that. Something close enough to that. Perfect. It's good enough. Good enough for me. Okay. Fabulous. And now we can go ahead and put this guy. Now, I want to cut a little bit of this edge off because it's kind of bugging me. I gotta tell you. But I'm leaving this bottom so that I can put a little saying there. And then now you can go ahead and paste it down. But instead of pasting it down, I'm actually going to go ahead and take my cute little paper clips and paper clip this little guy to it. And what I love about that is I love the way it shows up on the other side. Isn't it cute? I just love that. And then I can go ahead and put a little saying. I can take my little stickers once again, right? And put a little banner on the bottom, put little tabs, put little notes. Like, you can put anything you want. Remembering. Really, really cute, right? You can go ahead and get a little foam dot and apply that right to the Polaroid, and just kind of do it on a slant. They're sold out. Did I sell you out, Alda? Probably sold you out on those. I'm sorry. And what's really cute is you can even go ahead and grab, you know, some of these junkyard findings, the cute little typo bolts. Let's open one up. And that one says remembering. So we could actually grab this one that says moments and add this little guy right there with a little bit of flowers. Maybe we'll add a couple flowers just for fun. All guys like a little bit of flowers, right? Not sure my hubby will, but that's okay. He'll like it because I say so. I think that's my husband texting me. Hopefully. Let me show you. Right, really, and I know it's kind of hard to see on. It's because the camera is shining, so it's kind of hard to see. But it says moments here, so but it is a cute little light bulb. It's just the lighting is a little bit off. Those flowers are just so super cute. Okay, and if you really want it to pop out a little bit more and you don't want to see through the back side, you can go ahead and back the light bulb up on a, let's say, white piece of paper so that the moments really shows up. So anyway, I'm going to continue doing the mini album off camera, but I wanted to show you how to make this little guy. And then at the end, I'm going to go ahead and just, I'll punch the holes again with my cinch. And then all I'm going to do is just take my, my coil and put it through. That's it. That is it, my loves. You want me to keep going? What's discouraging? Oh, I know those ads. Sure. Here is, I'm going to show you, I'm just pulling it. Hang on a sec. Here's, here's the door. Here's one of the doors. Anyhow, right? There's this door, or there's this door we created. So 2 different kinds of doors. You want me to keep going a little bit? I don't have a finished one because I left it so that I can make it. I just didn't have enough paper to create a totally finished one. So I just started, I prepped. I just didn't have a full paper to create a full one, so I had to be conservative. Right? So here we go. Like, if you put it all together, right? This is kind of what you'll have. The little tabs, right? And then you'll have, for each one, you're going to have a back side, right? And a little frame, right? And then a little back side, and then we'll put a little frame. So, do you want me to continue for a few more minutes? Okay, I'll continue for a couple more minutes. I have to put my kids to bed, but that's okay. I love you guys, so I'll do that for you. Just because I love ya. Just because I love ya. So let's go ahead and put our frames on. What do you say? All right. I'll put the frames on. So that'll be the next job. Let's put the frames. So I'll pull these out. How many more do we have? Like 4 or 5 or something, right? We'll pull all of these out. And then we'll do maybe, not pretty, but proud. We'll do proud. Okay, and we'll kind of draw it out. I think it's a little bit easier when I draw it out than when I just cut it. I find sometimes it's a little bit hard. That was not the most beautiful cut thing I've ever done, but for being a fussy cutter, I sure didn't do a very good job, did I? It's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty funny, you guys. Okay, just like that. Okay. Is Frank baby here? Hey, baby. Thanks for stopping by, honey bunny. I love Frankie Poo. He did such an awesome job today. You know what, Frank? I'm kind of envious that you have an assistant. I need your assistant, or you must come here and be my assistant, one of the two. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, my friend, but something must be done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this little guy on here. Okay, just like that. Isn't that cute? I love the little balloon. So, so cute. So Frank, let's show you the album so far. We haven't bound it yet. Are you still on here, Frank? So what we've done is we created a really funky urban, what do you call this? Rustic thing. And so we created this little album. We're going to cinch it, and we open it up, and we're going to cover this guy up. But we're kind of creating this for a male, so we've created kind of like a file system mini book, essentially, using some of the amazing little Roman numerals and the little plates, right? So really, really cute. Really, really cute little album. So right now we're just kind of finishing it up because I didn't do a very good job of time. So the girls want me to stay a little bit longer and finish it up. So that's what I'm doing, because I just love them. And this one, we need this one. So let's grab another guy, and we're going to do maybe love. We'll do love. Love, baby, love. I am using Fabri-Tac. I get asked that question a lot. What glue do I use? I use Fabri-Tac a lot. And 3-in-1. One for Frank. Frank, maybe I can send you one. That's right, I have 2. That's right, baby. You love the engraver collection anyhow, right? Frank, can I tell them we're working on a secret project? I think I just did. Frank and I are working on a secret. I can't keep a secret? I can't tell you. Well, I didn't say anything. I am such a tease. I just wanted to tease you guys. It's good to tease them. They come back. That's what I notice. I tease them and they keep coming. They want to know what they want to know what's up. You guys got to watch Frank. He's on Thursday with Live with Prima. Okay, so you got to watch Frank's show on Live with Prima. And I'm just cutting these up. I just about cut my finger off. Don't you love it when you do that? Just cut your finger off. Scissors. I'm telling you, crafting is extremely dangerous. It's a very dangerous hobby. Look at my hands. I mean, if there's one thing I hate is the amount of sticky hands I get. That just drives me nuts. Okay, just like that. Okay. Look at this one. It's totally crooked. Good thing we can move it. There we go. Okay, last one. Last little frame is, let's do wonderful, because you're so wonderful. All right, just like that. Frank, sometimes when you do the shows, don't you feel like you're talking to yourself? Sometimes I do. Because I can't hear anyone. It's kind of hard. Aw, thank you, you guys. You guys are so sweet. So sweet. For all you Israeli girls that I know you'll be watching tomorrow, I cannot wait to meet you all. 2 weeks, baby, and I will be there. And tomorrow I am preparing kits for you, so I'm so excited. My Israel peeps. Frank's show was awesome today. It was fab. It was just fab. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I did prep a whole bunch of little envelopes, so we can actually go ahead and use them. Why don't we go ahead and use them? Okay, so all we want to do is we want to go ahead and just fold them, okay, so that we can actually get them on here. Okay, so we'll just put them just like so. And we do want to ink them up just a little bit. My poor kids are going to be so tired. Okay, just like that. Running out of glue, chiclets. Hey, Shauna. Did I see you on here? You've been on here, haven't you? You have. Okay, just, and then again, we can put one of the cute little, I don't know where they went now. See what happens when you move around too much. But you can put these cute little vintage finds again, right? Maybe we'll put one of these guys on there. So cute. And then what you do on the inside is you put a little Velcro and then it sticks down, right? But of course, for the show, I don't know what I was thinking and left it in the other room. So I should put this with hot glue because it'll really stick and it'll stick quickly. And I don't have to worry and wait. Okay. I just about burnt my finger. I know you guys didn't see that, but I just about flippin' lost a finger, okay? Just want to let you know that. Okay, really, really cute, right? Okay, so little album. Gotta put that there and then we'll embellish it off camera because right now we just need to get these guys on there. Okay, just like that. And then we just want to go ahead and ink the edges up. Okay. And maybe I'll go ahead and cinch it during the show so you guys can see how I cinch it. And then I'll embellish later. Okay, just like that. Okay. And one more. Do we have one more or did I finish them all? I thought I finished them all. Oh, no, one more right here. Didn't think I had. Sometimes hot glue is the best. Okay, good night. All right. Just like this, baby. All right, shall we pull out the cinch so you can see how I cinch it? And then we'll be done, okay? So let me just make some room over here because you know what happens, right? We craft and I swear we end up like working in this tiny, tiny, tiny little area and we have no room. I'm going to pull this camera up just a little bit so that hopefully you can see. Can you see a little bit better right now? Is that a little bit better? Okay, so what you want to do is probably put a little bit too close. This could be an issue. I didn't think about that. But this could be a major oops. Just saying. But we might need to cut this flap off, which is totally fine if we need to. That's fine. In fact, I may have to because I put it a little bit too close. But you want to lift this up and you want to tuck it all the way to the end. You want to make sure it's all the way to the end. And then you can't see this, but all of them are up because right now I have it right at the right, I think I have it at the right, let me just double check. Let me check with the album. Let me check. Just want to ensure. No, I don't. See? See? I just about punched the wrong thing down. I think that's good. I think. I'm hoping. I'm praying. Because I moved it. Remember when I punched the other tag? So you want to lock it in place. There's a little lock. And then you want to go ahead and with the handle, sorry it's shaking, and you lift it up. Okay? And we didn't punch through the tab, which is really, really fabulous. Except I got right at the edge. So you got to really watch that you don't rip the little holes, okay? So then you want to grab the next one. Okay. And you might want to save these guys for later to put them on. I just took it off just so that I can go ahead and fit it in the machine. Just a little tip, and then I can go ahead and glue it back on. I don't know how the heck I was able to remove it so fast. But anyway, I was able to. And then the same thing for this one. Sorry, it's a little shaky. I know, isn't the cinch fabulous? I just love it. Just love it. Now this guy could be a challenge because see this guy? So my suggestion is save your embellishments until after you've cinched it. Just saying. And see, it moved on me, I think, a little bit. Okay. Okay. And this I'm going to bend just a little bit, and I'll bring it back out. Come on, baby, all the way. It cuts like butter, you guys. It cuts like absolute butter. I tell ya, butter. Just like butter. See, I shouldn't have put these flowers right here because now I can't get it in the cinch. But because I used Fabri-Tac, I can actually pull that off, which is really great. Hopefully it doesn't get my cinch completely. Just like that. Perfect. And I can go ahead and just glue it right back on. See, nobody ever knew. Just like that. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, I think I cinched all of them, didn't I? And then all you want to do, I'm not doing this all the way because I have to cut it and everything, but you're going to take one of these coils. Okay, and literally, okay, let's find 1, 2, here's 1, 2, let's find 3, where's 3? Is this 3? Here's 3. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully they're lined up. If they moved a little bit on me, we are SOL. Just totally fine. Where did 4 go? Here's 4. Okay, 4, 5, and then 6, right? Yes, I do prefer my cinch. And so literally all you do, and you can do this with the cover as well, but literally all you'll do is you'll put this guy through your first hole on all of them, right? And you can grab the cover too, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to do it all right now because I still want to finish the backside of the cover, so I don't want to actually bind all this through. And oh, sorry, you do this on the bottom side. On the bottom side, and then just like this. Let's go again. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3, 4, and I just ripped that hole. And so really what you'll do is you'll literally twist, and then you'll go into the next hole, and then you'll twist and keep twisting until you get through all the holes, and they'll coil right through. That's right. It's actually really, really, really easy. And if you really don't like this coil type, you can use the same bind it all that you use, and the same closing, what do you call it? The same binding as the binding all has, and use it the same way. So either one will work. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I know, it's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to stop the recording for a moment.